ERK4's Marcy Manley standing by. Marcy, at 5 o'clock, you mentioned this is headed toward a warehouse full of fireworks, or it could be.
That's absolutely right, Jessica, and conditions have gotten worse here on the ground. We're about 3.5 miles southeast of Ola on Highway 10, and we're going to take a look now. You can see big billowing clouds of smoke. We're here on Highway 10, and that fire has now jumped the highway, we're told. There is a barn structure that is on fire on this side of the highway that we're standing on. It's the same side of the highway where that warehouse full of explosives now sits. And according to the Yell County Sheriff, that is a threat right now. It is a danger because if these flames are jumping across and could catch that on fire, that all goes just boom. It's a big explosion. There is a lot in there. It's a full warehouse of explosives. We've seen trucks coming up and down this highway. It's closed to through traffic, but I can't tell you how many tankers, how many fire trucks we've seen driving up and down, basically down that way. If you can see sort of the flashing red lights and all of that, that is just a wall of fire responders. They're trying to create a barrier, but right now this fire is burning as what we're being told is out of control by the Yell County Sheriff. The wind is the biggest problem. It just keeps changing and they can't quite get a grasp on it. What were voluntary evacuations are now mandatory evacuations. People are being asked to head to that center, that emergency center. Red Cross is there. And speaking of those people who have been evacuated, one of those people joins us now. They were under that voluntary area of evacuations. Monica Buller, you've sort of been monitoring this situation throughout the afternoon. How do you feel right now?
Well, I'm actually getting a little bit nervous since the wind keeps changing, you know, and we live, if it jumps the road, we live right that way. So I'm getting pretty nervous. We've got family around here. We're on the phone trying to tell everybody, you know, hey, we're down here. We're looking at this. Everybody needs to start taking precautions and getting to the high school, the new high school. So because it's out of control and it's getting pretty scary. So
now talk to me a little bit. You live in this area, so you know where the houses are on this highway. Are there a lot of them? Could this be a bad situation?
Yeah, it possibly could be a bad situation because when you go down this way, you know, you got houses on both sides and, you know, they're kind of spread out between each other. So it's hard to tell because with the fire, you don't know how wide it is when it's crossing the road or what houses are going to be involved. But there are definitely houses out there that are spaced out between each other. So.
And looking at it and knowing that these are your neighbors, these are people that you know who live in your area, knowing that those flames could be headed their way, that has to be somewhat terrifying for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty scary. You know, it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. And the past few minutes and a little bit when we first found out, everybody was scurrying around and everybody was heading that way towards Ola, you know, so hopefully they're going towards the school. So but it's pretty scary, and I hope everybody makes it out okay and they're not just sitting and waiting until the last minute, because that's usually what happens is people say, oh, if it gets bad enough, we'll leave. So hopefully they're going to go really quick.
Well, thank you so much, Monica. And speaking of very quick, this fire is moving very quickly. I just want to show you the expanse, the range of the fire, how far it's spread. If you can see over here, that white pillow of smoke there, that is where the fire sort of began, and it's spread clear across the area. I mean, this is Highway 10. You're looking at about 300 acres worth is what people on the ground are telling me, an estimated 300 acres of basically woods, grass, and apparently structures going up in smoke, literally. So it's a very tenuous situation right now. Emergency responders, the sheriff's office, they don't feel good about it. They say this is a definite threat. People need to take it seriously. Again, that emergency center is at the Two Rivers High School. That's east of Ola, near Plainview. And so if you need a place to go during these mandatory evacuations, head there. The conditions are very dry. It's very windy. With that wind, because this fire is moving so quickly, embers can carry and things can set on fire. I don't know if you can hear it, but air tankers are flying above us right now, and those are dropping water on the area. They won't be able to put out the wildfire completely, but they are keeping the area wet so that things that would normally catch on fire may be wet and doused enough that they're not going to catch on fire. And so that's sort of a step that they're taking to try and keep this fire contained. So we're going to keep an eye on this for all of you out there watching, bringing you the latest updates as they become available live in Yell County. I'm Marcy Manley for KRK4 News.
And Marcy, real quick, in terms of evacuations, we know that Ola has been evacuated. Are they thinking that this is going to impact more towns, more cities? How are they going to assess that risk?
They're assessing that risk as the fire moves. There could be additional areas incorporated in this as it moves across Highway 10, which it has. So we're going to check in with the Yell County Sheriff's Office to see if there are any additional evacuations now that we've learned that it has jumped that area. And so we'll try and get that update with you a little later in the broadcast. But it could be that other people may be facing evacuations.
All right, a very serious situation out there tonight. Marcy, you guys be careful, and we're going to check in with you a little bit later in our broadcast tonight.
Absolutely.
Marcy just showed us the expanse of that fire from her point of view. Now, here's the point of view from our